Jaya Gopada
Srinanda Jasoda Jaya Jaya Gopada
Maharaj Jaya Jaya Dhenu Bhatta
Srinanda Jaya Jaya
Maharaj Jaya Jaya Dhenu Bhatta
Srinamadi Jaya Jaya Denunastaga
Krishna Bhanu Jaya Krishna Sundari
Jaya Krishna Bhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari
Jaya Krishna Bhanu Jaya Krishna Sundari
Jaya Krishna Bhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari
Jaya Purnamati Jaya Abhiranagari
Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Abhiranagari
Jaya Purnamati Jaya Abhiranagari
Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Abhiranagari
Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana
Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana
Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana
Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana
Jaya Krishna Shaka Bhato Pujara
Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Bhatujana
Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Bhatu Jara
Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Bhatujana
Ramakatha Jaya Rohini Nanda
Jaya
Ramakatha Jaya Rohini Nanda
Jaya
Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jata Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jata
Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jata
Chapatni Jaya Nagakanya
Jaya Jaya Jagaganya
Chapatni Jaya Nagakanya
Jaya Jaya Jagaganya
Patike Yahara Palo Govinda Chara
Bhakti Teja Govinda Chara
Patike Yahara Palo Govinda Chara
Bhakti Teja
Vivata Mangala Jaya Jaya Radha Shyam
Jaya
Vivata Mangala Jaya Jaya Radha Shyam Jaya Jaya Salila Sarvamanoram Jaya Salila Sarvamanoram Jaya Jwala Rasa Karvarasa
Jaya
Jaya Jwala Rasa Karvarasa
Jaya
Jaya Bharatiya Bhaveya Brajate Pracha Bharatiya Bhaveya Brajate Pracha Bhaja Padma Korea Smara Bhaja Padma Korea Smara Krishna Jasa Kohe Nama Sankirtan Krishna jasa kohe namatam kirtan. Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan.
Jaya Radhe Krishna Jaya Vrindavan.
Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Govinda Gopinath.
英文第一段，一切榮耀歸於 Radha Krishna 和神聖嘅 Vrindavan 森林，一切榮耀歸於 Vrindavan 嘅三個掌管神靈 Sri Govinda、Gopinath 和 Madana Mohan 嘅義，一切榮耀歸於 Shyamakunda、Radha Kunda、Govardhan、Yamuna， 一切榮耀歸於名叫 Maharaj 嘅森林。Krishna 和 Balaram 在那裏展示了他們的童年娛樂活動。三節榮耀歸於 Krishna 在那裏殺死了基士摩，一切榮耀歸於 Krishna 吸引全體牧牛姑娘，會站在那裏吹笛子。榮耀歸於 Raja 所有12隻森林 ，Nanda 嘅兒子聖 Krishna 在這些地方從事了他嘅娛樂活動。一切榮耀歸於 Krishna 嘅父親 Nanda 和母親嘅 Shoda， 一切榮耀歸於 Vrindavan 為首嘅牧牛童，一切榮耀歸於 Raja 嘅乳牛和牛犢。第五節，一切榮耀歸於 Radha 的父親 Vishwabandhu 的和母親美麗的Kirtita， 一切榮耀歸於 Purnamasi， 他是Shantipani 母親的母親Madhumangala 的祖母，半神人中的聖人 Narada 所喜愛嘅門徒，一切榮耀歸於 Radha 少年的牧牛姑娘們。一切榮耀歸於高基沙拿的雕華，他住在 Vrindavan 中保護那片聖地。一切榮耀歸於 Krishna， 那位滑稽搞笑的花文娜朋友 Madhuman 的第七。Let
them read, actually. They can read.
第七，羅文讀。一切榮耀歸於 Rama Jata， 主 Balaram 在我們中間從事了他叫 Rasa Subsidence 嘅活動，一切榮耀歸於 Rajini 的兒子主 Balaram， 一切榮耀歸於 Vrindavan 的全體居民。
一切榮耀歸於 Brahma 的妻子們，或者 Brahmana 為了擁有偉大知識而驕傲，一切榮耀歸於 Kaliya 巨蛇的妻子們，他們都透過純粹的道學之情，得到了主導天下的蓮花族。 一切榮耀歸於情理之外的甜美，得咗一切甜美情感 rasa 中最非凡，是聖 Krishna 在 Raja 以情人嘅形象 Parikya Bhava 傳遞嘅情感。
記住主嚟係阿南達的妻子聖加拿娃女神 Janava Devi 的蓮花足 Krishna 的那個十分墮落而又卑微的僕人，歌唱至尊主的聖名。
Maharaj, I can say a few words. So for those of you who don't know, this is a regular Monday class that we've been having for many years now.
對嗰啲即係第一次嚟嘅朋友咧，可能唔知道咧，我哋呢個咧就係星期一嘅課嚟嘅，咁已經持續咗好多年㗎啦。
From 11 to 1.
咁呢個課咧就係由11點到1點。
And we've covered many topics.
咁我哋咧就係會研讀唔同嘅題目嘅。
And most recently, we've been discussing the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, killing different demons.
咁我哋咧最近讀嘅題目咧就係講 Krishna 喺 Vrindavan 咧係殺嗰啲惡魔。
And the different demons represent different obstacles.
咁唔同嘅惡魔咧就代表咗我哋唔同嘅內心嗰啲障礙嘅嗰啲障礙。
So we're up to chapter 23, and that's the pastime that Maharaj will share today. And of course, we're very happy that he's sharing with all of us.
咁我哋咧就今日就會讀到第23章第10篇嘅第23章。咁Narasimha Maharaj 咧亦都會繼續講呢一個消活時間。
So 10th canto, chapter 23, or Krishna book, chapter 23, same chapter.
咁就係聖經講緊亞談嘅第10篇第23章啦。法律啲傳言同樣都係第10篇第23章。
Thank you.
我哋好歡迎Narasimha Maharaj 今日俾我哋呢個講座。
Adhyana Timarandasya Dhyanandjana
Shalagya Chakshurun Gilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Vanchakalpa
Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Mal Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine
Jai Shri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Is this past music for any kind of
Not normally.
So we have this nice song, this Braja Mahimamrita, which describes all the glories of Vrindavan and mentions also the particular pastime which we're going to speak about today.
咁剛才我哋唱嗰首係好優美嘅歌曲啦，咁佢就描述咗Vrindavan不同嘅地點啦，同埋消活時光。咁我哋今日都會討論Vrindavan嘅消活時光。
And verse number 8 says, Jaya Dvija Patni, Jaya, Gopi Kanyagan. So the Dvija Patnis, the Patni means the wives, and the Dvija means the Brahmana, the twice born.
咁就係呢一節嘅就係頭先講嘅第8節啦。第8節咧，我哋就會討論嗰啲Vija 就係嗰啲婆羅門啦 ，Patni 就係佢嘅妻子，嘅妻子。
So this chapter from 10th Canto Bhagavatam describes about how one morning Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram were with all the cowherd boys, and they were quite far away from Gokula, from their home. And they were hungry. They hadn't had any breakfast.
咁呢一個逍遙時光咧，就係講到有一日咧，主 Krishna 同埋 Balaram 咧就去到放牛啦，就離開到 Pula 好遠嘅地方，咁佢哋一早就出咗門。咁佢哋去到嗰個時間咧，就好肚餓啦，已經開始。
Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, in their childhood Leela, they were cowherd boys.
咁主 Krishna 同埋主 Balaram 咧喺呢個Vrindavan嘅逍遙時光嘅時候咧，佢哋就係牧牛童嚟嘅。
And they would take the cows with all the cowherd boys. All the cowherd boys would go together with the herds of cows and go off into the forest.
咁Krishna 同 Balaram 咧就同埋好多嘅牧牛童啦，帶埋嗰啲乳牛啦，就去到呢個 Vrindavan 嘅森林嗰度咧就放牧。
In the forest, they can get nice grasses to eat and different, and then also the water of the Yamuna is there to refresh them.
咁喺Vrindavan 嗰啲森林裏邊咧，佢哋啲牛咧就會有啲好鮮嫩嘅草俾佢哋食啦，然後又有 Yamuna 嘅河水啦，清澈嘅河水咧俾佢哋飲嘅。
So Lord Krishna and Lord Balarama, one morning, somehow they hadn't had any breakfast.
咁嗰一日咧，主 Balaram 同埋主 Krishna 咧，不知怎地咧就冇帶早餐去放牧。
Of course, Lord Krishna is omniscient. He knows everything.
咁當然啦 ，Krishna 咧就係全知噶嘛，佢知曉一切。
And he could understand the nature of these people who were nearby.
咁佢亦都好深曉咧，即係嗰度附近啲居民嗰啲心術。
There were some brahmanas nearby.
附近咧就有一啲嘅婆羅門嘅。
And these brahmanas were ritualistic brahmanas. They were doing activity, they were doing a yagya for material benefit.
咁呢啲婆羅門咧就係一啲好物質主義嘅，好功利性嘅。咁佢哋做呢啲祭祀咧，主要咧都係為咗一啲物質嘅利益嘅。
You have to understand that not all brahmanas are devotees.
咁有一點你哋要明白咧，就係唔係所有婆羅門咧都係奉獻佛嘅。
Some brahmanas are pandits. And the pandit means they know some scriptures, they know mantras, they know how to do yagyas.
咁有一啲婆羅門咧就係 pandit 嚟嘅，咁 pandit 嘅意思咧即係話佢哋知道經典啦，知道一啲祭祀嘅儀式啦。
You go to a Hindu temple, there'll be some brahmana there to do the yagya.
咁佢哋去到一啲印度嘅廟宇裏邊啦，咁就去嗰度做一啲嘅祭祀儀式。
And usually these yagyas will be for some material benefit.
咁通常呢啲祭祀儀式咧，都係為咗得到一啲嘅功利嘅物質嘅利益。
There are brahmanas, of course, who are devotees.
咁亦都有啲婆羅門係奉獻者，
They're not so many.
但係唔係好多。
You get more brahmanas who are materialistic.
咁更多嘅婆羅門咧，就係想得到一啲物質嘅利益。
The brahmanas, they're described as earthly gods.
咁嗰啲婆羅門咧，被人稱為係地球上嘅神。
They're not God, of course, but brahmanas are meant to have the knowledge coming from God.
咁其實佢哋唔係神嚟嘅，佢哋實際上嘅職責咧，應該係傳播神嘅知識嘅。
And they're meant to distribute that knowledge, to teach that knowledge to the people.
而佢嘅職責咧，應該咧就係話將呢啲知識咧去教導啲人。
So the brahmanas are meant to give instructions and guidance to help the people materially and spiritually.
咁所以婆羅門嘅職責其實咧就係要去俾訓示呢啲人啦，同埋係教導佢哋點樣去生活。
So Lord Krishna said to the cowherd boys that, why don't you go and ask these brahmanas to give some food for us?
咁當啲牧牛童開始肚餓嘅時候咧，咁佢就叫 巴啦啦，嗱叫啲牧牛童咧就話，不如你哋去附近嗰啲婆羅門嗰度咧，問佢哋攞啲食物啦。
And you can use my name and Lord Balaram's name. Tell them we're here and we're hungry.
咁你哋可以用我哋嘅名義喎，你可以話俾佢哋聽，Krishna 同埋巴啦啦喺附近，佢哋而家肚餓啊，咁係想要一啲食物。
So the cowherd boys, they went there to see these brahmanas, and they told the brahmanas how Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are nearby. They've come with their cows, and they would like to get some food.
咁所以啲牧牛童咧就去到附近嘅婆羅門屋企啦，就話俾佢哋聽點樣而家 Krishna 同巴啦啦係喺附近啊，咁佢哋係希望得到你哋嘅幫助啊咁。
But they didn't get any reaction from the brahmanas.
但係佢哋咧係完全得唔到啲婆羅門嘅反應喎。
They didn't say yes, they didn't say no.
佢哋連答佢哋得或者唔得都一句聲都唔出喎。
They were busy doing their rituals.
佢哋咧就係只係忙於做佢哋嗰啲儀式嘅，佢哋啲祭祀儀式。
Ringing their bells, chanting the mantras.
咁就喺度搖鈴啦，然後咧就喺度念誦嗰啲曼陀啦。
So the cowherd boys explained, they said to the brahmanas that, you know, the yagya, because you have not yet begun the yagya, there's no harm for you to give food for Krishna and for all of us and for Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram.
咁啲牧牛童見到佢咁樣咧，就對佢講啦，佢話你哋都未開始做啲祭祀，其實你俾啲食物我哋幫助下我哋啲牧牛童啦，同埋 Krishna 同巴啦啦咧係冇問題㗎，你都未開始。
They were thinking maybe the brahmanas are just worried that, you know, they'll commit some offense if they give food away when they're doing the yagya.
嗰啲牧牛童咧，其實都為佢哋着想啦，以為啲婆羅門擔心咧，如果未做啲祭祀，就將啲食物送俾佢 Krishna 同巴啦啦嗰啲牧牛童咧，係會有冒犯啊咁樣。
But the cowherd boys told, they said, they explained very clearly that there's no offense, you know, you haven't begun the yagya yet, you haven't taken any food yet, there's no offense if you give away some food.
咁所以牧牛童就向佢哋解釋啊，佢話你未人開始做祭祀係唔會有冒犯嘅，如果你而家將啲食物舉出去。
But the brahmanas didn't say anything.
但係啲婆羅門咧就粒聲唔出。
They didn't say yes, they didn't say no.
咁佢哋又唔話俾，抑或唔俾。
They just pretended the cowherd boys were not there.
咁佢只係咧喺度假設咧係見唔到啲牧牛童。
You just ignored them.
只係喺度即係唔理睬佢哋。
So they came back to Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. They told them.
於是咧啲牧牛童就翻去就將個事情嘅經過就講俾Krishna 同埋巴啦啦聽。
So Lord Krishna told the cowherd boys, that's the nature of begging.
咁Krishna 咧就教導啲牧牛童啦，佢話呢個就係我哋去行乞嘅本質。
When you go begging, sometimes you will be given, sometimes you won't.
當你去乞求一啲嘢嘅時候咧，有時你會得到，有時你會得唔到嘅。
So we see actually devotees often when we go for book distribution, it's something like that.
咁所以咧，我哋出去派書咧，其實我哋都遇到相同嘅情況。
And you'll see in Buddhist countries, of course, where the Buddhist monks are there, Buddhist monks, they will go begging every day.
咁如果你去到一啲佛教嘅國家咧，當地嗰啲佛教即係僧人啊咁樣咧，佢哋會係挨家挨戶咁去求乞嘅。
We can see, especially in Thailand, you see the monks go out every morning, they beg their food.
咁特別喺泰國啦，你會見到當地嘅僧人咧，每日咧佢哋都會出去行乞嘅。
And whatever they collect in the day, they'll finish by the night.
咁佢哋乞討翻嚟嗰啲食物咧，佢哋就會當日咧就會即係用食晒㗎啦。
They don't accumulate anything.
佢哋就唔會累積任何嘅食物嘅。
They keep their lives simple.
佢哋咧係維持一種好簡樸嘅生活。
So it's actually allowed for brahmanas to beg.
咁婆羅門咧係可以去行乞嘅。
Right? Brahmana is allowed to do 6 activities.
婆羅門咧係容許咧係做6種嘅活動嘅。
Brahmana is not supposed to work for anyone.
係婆羅門唔應該咧係要為工作去賺錢。
But Brahmana can study the scriptures
婆羅門可以去閱讀經典，
and they can teach the scripture.
亦都係去教導呢啲經典。
And they can worship the deities and they can teach people to worship deities.
咁佢哋要崇拜神像啦，亦都教導啲人去點樣崇拜神像。
And they can accept charity and they can also give charity.
咁佢哋可以係接受布施，亦都可以俾布施出去。
So it said in the Kali Yuga, Brahmanas are expert in only one of these 6.
咁卡利年代嘅婆羅門咧，只係精於咧其中6樣之中嘅一樣嘅啫。係投布施。
Yeah, expert in accepting charity.
咁佢哋係好精於咧係接受布施嘅，
They don't do any of the other things.
佢唔做其他嘢㗎啦，佢哋。
But it's common, especially in India, you've got people come around, and because they're brahmanas, they'll come and people will give them charity.
咁特別喺印度咧就好普遍嘅呢啲情況。咁佢哋會去到啲人嗰度啦，咁但係啲人咧見到佢哋咧就會布施到佢哋度。
When there's some function, the first people to be fed, the brahmanas.
咁任何舉行啲活動咧，第一樣嘢咧，佢哋就會去向婆羅門求取一啲嘢。
So brahmanas are always honored in society.
咁婆羅門咧喺社會咧係好受尊敬。
And so Lord Krishna, anyway, he wanted to pacify the cover boys were feeling very disappointed that they got ignored. So Lord Krishna told them, don't worry about it. It's the nature of begging.
咁主 Krishna 咧見到啲蒙牛童咧，因為即係攞唔到食物翻嚟咧，就好氣餒啦。咁主 Krishna 咧就安撫佢哋。
And when they began the Gurukula in ISKCON, they had the Gurukula. The first Gurukula was in Dallas, in Texas. And Prabhupada wanted that the children there, they would go out for begging.
咁當ISKCON 咧喺 Dallas 咧呢笪地方，即係喺 Texas， 即係喺德薩斯州 Dallas 嗰度咧，係開始咗呢個 Gurukula 呢個學校嘅時候咧，咁當時聖巴巴咧就想呢啲學生仔啊出去即係行乞嘅。
But Western countries, you can't beg; it's illegal.
但係原來西方嘅國家咧係唔容許去乞食嘅，
It's a crime.
係犯罪嘅，
You're not allowed to beg.
係唔可以即係去食嘅。
In Mayapur, Maharaj, they go out and beg. In the Mayapur Gurukul, in the
Really?
summer, yes. They
Yeah.
do for 2 or 3 months, they go traveling and they beg.
咁但係喺
Still they do that.
OK，但係而家喺印度嘅 Gurukul 咧，即係呢啲學校。
Mayapur.
sorry，喺馬來普咧，咁呢啲學校咧，亦都會俾啲小朋友出去乞食嘅，2-3個月到啦，跟住咁就係可以嘅，即係馬來普嗰啲 Gurukul 嘅學生就可以。
It's a purifying activity
咁其實呢一個咧係一個好淨化嘅活動，
because, as Lord Krishna said, sometimes you will be given and sometimes you will be rejected.
咁因為 Krishna 講啊嘛，有時咧係你係會得到食物嘅，但係有時你會被拒絕。
So in this way, you can become detached.
咁樣咧，你就可以學習係去唔依附啦。
Of course, sometimes when devotees would distribute books, sometimes they'd be too aggressive.
咁但係當有啲奉獻者去派書嘅時候咧，佢哋咧有陣時咧就太過激情。
Take the book.
即係太係啦，佢哋會太過即係進取啊，然後咧就叫啲人咧攞啦，你攞咗呢本書走啦，咁即係好。
We don't like to hear no.
因為佢哋唔想對方唔要嘅，佢哋唔想人哋拒絕佢嘅。
But actually, the way of begging is that you have to do it with humility.
咁其實我哋做呢個即係乞求呢個活動咧，呢個動作咧，我哋係就要學習謙卑嘅。
So Lord Krishna pacified the cowherd boys and told them, "Don't worry about it."
咁所以咧 ，Krishna 咧就平息佢哋啦，就叫佢哋咧唔使擔心嘅。
Just like when we distribute books, we were often told that, well, one person doesn't take a book. That means that we're one person nearer to a person taking a book.
咁其實當我哋派本書俾一個人，佢唔接受嘅話咧，或者附近有另外一個人咧，佢係會好容易接受㗎。
So you just have to keep trying to distribute, and you come to somebody who takes the book.
咁總之你咪不斷咁派咯，你派總之都一定會有人最終會接受你本書。
So Lord Krishna told the cowherd boys, the Brahmanas didn't want to give, they didn't acknowledge you. Don't worry about it. Go to the Brahmanas' wives.
咁 Krishna 就話啦，嗰啲婆羅門唔理睬你哋咧，咁唔好理佢啦。咁你而家可以去婆羅門嘅妻子嗰度問佢哋。
The Brahmanas' wives are there, and they'll be happy.
佢話婆羅門嘅妻子喺附近㗎，佢哋會好高興嘅。
So the cowherd boys thought, oh, go to the Brahmanas' wives.
於是咧，啲牧牛童咧就諗下，好啊，咁我哋去揾啲婆羅門妻子啦。
So the Brahmanas, they were outside doing the yagya, and the Brahmanas' wives, they were inside the house somewhere.
咁婆羅門咧通常就喺戶外做呢個祭祀儀式㗎嘛，而嗰啲妻子咧就喺裏邊咧係準備啲食物。
So the cowherd boys went back and they went to meet the Brahmanas' wives.
咁所以嗰啲牧牛童咧就再去啦，再去揾啲牧牛童嘅揾婆羅門妻子喺屋裏邊嗰啲。
And Lord Krishna told them, you tell them that I'm here with Lord Sankarshan, Lord Balaram.
咁但係你就話俾佢啲妻子聽，主 Krishna 喺度啊，同埋Sankarshan啊，即係 Balaram 嘅另外一個名。
So when the cowherd boys went there and they met the Brahmanas' wives, they were very respectful because they're the wives of the Brahmanas.
咁牧牛童就去到見呢啲婆羅門嘅妻子啦，咁佢哋咧就好尊敬佢哋啦，好尊敬呢啲妻子們，因為佢哋係婆羅門嘅妻子。
So the Brahmanas are respected, their wives are also respected.
咁我哋應該尊敬婆羅門啦，咁當然我哋都尊敬佢哋嘅妻子嘅。
And the cowherd boys respectfully requested them, well, they respectfully informed them that Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are nearby.
咁牧牛童咧就好有禮貌咁咧，就向佢哋嘅婆羅門妻子又話俾佢哋聽，Krishna 同埋主 Balaram 喺附近啊。
So when the ladies heard that Krishna and Balaram, what? Lord Krishna and Balaram, they're nearby? Oh, they were very excited.
咁當啲妻子們咧聽到牧牛童話 Krishna 同埋 Balaram 喺附近咧，佢哋咧哇就好驚愕啦，首先，然後就好興奮啦，就話係咩？即係Krishna 同 Balaram 喺附近咩咁？
Because they'd heard about Lord Krishna and Balaram.
因為佢哋曾經已經聽過好多關於 Krishna 同 Balaram 嘅事蹟。
They heard there's this little boy in Vrindavan. There's this little boy, blue-colored boy in Vrindavan, and he killed the big demons.
因為佢哋咧都聽唔少有關 Krishna 咧係殺惡魔呢啲故事㗎啦。
Krishna been killing these different demons.
咁咧 Krishna 咧係已經咧係殺好多呢啲咁嘅惡魔。
So news was going around, news was spreading.
咁所以當 Krishna 殺咗惡魔呢啲消息咧就傳開去咧，即係數好多人附近嘅人咧
And
都聽聞。
these wives of the Brahmanas, they'd also heard about Krishna, how he killed these different demons.
咁婆羅門嘅妻子咧，亦都有聽到關於Krishna 咧係點樣去殺咗呢啲惡魔嘅事蹟嘅。
And of course, they knew, well, he's killing demons. He cannot be just an ordinary boy. He must be some very special personality.
咁呢妻子咧，佢哋都明白到咧，如果呢個小孩子咧能夠將惡魔都殺死咧，咁呢個人咧一定唔係一啲普通嘅人物嚟嘅。
And those who were more intelligent, they could understand that he must be God himself. He must be the incarnation of God's come in the world, in this world.
咁一啲比較有智慧嘅妻子咧，佢哋都根本就係認識到咧，佢一定係咧一啲神嘅化身嚟嘅。
Otherwise, how is it possible a little boy could kill these huge, terrible demons?
否則咧，呢個小孩子咧點有可能咧去殺咗一啲咁龐大嘅、咁可怕嘅惡魔？
So these Brahmana ladies, they immediately got up and they collected food which they had been preparing for the yagya, because their husbands were doing yagya and some food had to be offered also. So they had food there. So they collected it all together and they carried it over to where Krishna and Balaram.
咁所以啲妻子一聽到呢件事咧，佢哋咧就立刻，因為佢哋當時已經準備緊啲食物俾佢啲婆羅門丈夫供奉啊嘛，因為做祭祀要好多食物噶嘛，咁你咧即刻咧就包起晒所有佢哋準備咗嘅食物咧，就跟落去。
These Brahmana's wives, they're called the Dvija Patnis.
咁所以呢啲 Brahmana 嘅妻子咧就叫做 Dvija Patni 啦。
They had developed love for Krishna
佢哋咧係已經培養咗對 Krishna 嘅愛，
just by hearing about Krishna.
淨係透過聆聽有關 Krishna 嘅事蹟咧，佢哋已經培養咗對 Krishna 嘅愛。
They'd never met him before,
佢哋從來未見過 Krishna 嘅
but
之
they'd
前，
heard about him.
佢哋只係聽聞過。
And when they heard he was nearby, wow, they had to go.
所以而家佢一聽到話 Krishna 喺附近咧，佢哋咧就一定要去。
And even their husbands and other people, they didn't want them to go. Where are you going? What's this?
咁當啲婆羅門知道咧，佢啲即係啲婆羅門咧就話：你發生咩事啊？你去邊度啊？你哋？
And they're taking all the food away with them as well.
而咧啲妻子咧仲將所有嘅食物帶走晒添喎。
Where are you going? Why are you going away? What is this?
喂，你哋去邊啊？你哋有咩事？發生咩事啊？你哋而家？
So there were objections. They tried to stop them from going.
咁佢哋咧啲妻子就遇到障礙啦，遇到一啲阻撓啦。佢哋呢啲婆羅門就唔想佢哋去離開嘅。
There was one lady who was stopped from going, and because she didn't get to go, she died. She gave up her body.
其中有一個女士咧，因為佢丈夫阻止佢去咧，佢去唔到咧，最後咧佢就放棄咗佢嘅身體。
The pain of not being able to go to see Krishna was unbearable.
係唔能夠去到見 Krishna 呢種痛苦咧，係唔可以忍受嘅。
That just the pain of the separation caused her to die on the spot.
嗰種痛苦，即係被阻止去見 Krishna 呢種痛苦咧，令到佢咧就當場就死亡。
And of course, she went back to Godhead immediately.
當然啦，佢可以即刻翻去扶手嗰度喎。
There was a glorious departure.
咁呢個係一個好光榮嘅嚟。
She was living in Vrindavan, but she didn't get to go and see Krishna, but she got to go to be with Krishna in the spiritual world.
咁佢喺 Vrindavan 啦，但係而家被阻止去見 Krishna 喎。咁但係最終咧，佢係可以咧同埋 Krishna 一齊。
And the Brahmana's wives who went there to be with Krishna, of course, they brought the food and they offered their respects to Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, and they were so happy. They told Lord Krishna that now we've come to you, we don't want to go anywhere else.
咁嗰啲可以去見到 Krishna 嗰啲妻子咧，佢哋而家咧就帶埋啲成員俾 Krishna 啦，去到咧就好崇拜 Krishna 啦，然後咧佢哋因為好想同 Krishna 喺埋一齊啊，佢就同 Krishna 講啦，佢話而家咧我哋唔想去任何地方，我哋只想同你喺埋一齊。
They told Lord Krishna, now we've got the shelter of your lotus feet. We don't want to go anywhere.
咁佢對 Krishna， 佢哋對 Krishna 講佢話：而家我哋咧得到喺你嘅蓮花足之下嘅庇護啦，所以我哋咧任何地方都唔想去。
But Lord Krishna told them, no, that's not the way.
但係 Krishna 就對佢哋講啦，唔得，呢個唔係一個方法。
You don't attain me just by being in my physical presence.
咁你係唔可以只係我臨在喺度啦，而家你就可以同我一齊。
You can attain me by chanting my glories, or by worshipping my deity, or you can develop your devotion through what else? Hearing my glories, chanting my glories, worshipping the deity, different ways, but not just by being in my physical presence.
咁 Krishna 咧就對佢哋講，佢話你唔係單單只係我而家臨在喺你面前，你同我喺埋一齊咁就得㗎啦。你咁樣係得唔到我嘅，你哋要透過念誦啦，或者係唱頌我嘅逍遙時光，榮耀我嘅逍遙時光啦，或者透過崇拜我啦，或者係透過係聆聽有關我啦，聆聽有關更多關於我嘅事蹟啦。然後培養出你哋嗰個愛同埋愛心啦，呢啲程序你哋先至慢慢可以得到。
So it's interesting to compare the wives of the Brahmanas to the gopis.
咁其實我哋可以咧係用婆羅門嘅妻子咧係同嗰啲牧牛姑娘咧做一個比較，咁佢好有趣。
The gopis also came to Krishna when Krishna was in the forest. They left everything. They overcame all the obstacles to come to Krishna.
咁牧牛姑娘咧嗰次去森林咧，亦都係放棄晒一切，咁去到森林咧係去見 Krishna 嘅。
Just like the Brahmana's wives, they had many obstacles, many people trying to stop them, telling them, no, don't go. But they went. They were so determined.
咁婆羅門妻子亦都一樣，佢哋其實都遇到好多障礙、好多阻撓嘅，唔俾佢哋去嘅。咁但係最終咧，佢哋都堅持，佢哋好有決心咧，就一定要去。
So in the same way, the gopis also, the young girls, they went into the forest in the night, where there are wild animals.
咁同樣嗰啲牧牛姑娘一樣啦，佢哋係好年輕嘅女孩子嚟噶嘛，咁亦都係喺深夜裏邊咧，佢哋亦都遇到好多阻撓嘅，佢哋嘅丈夫啊、家人啊都唔準去到佢。
Yes, many dangers in the forest, especially in the night. The snakes become more active in the night.
而且佢哋係去森林喎，差唔多每日去森林喎，係好危險，好多即係好野嘅動物啦，亦都有好多蛇啦，好多有好毒嘅蛇嘅。
The jackals all come out at night.
亦都有好多豺狼咧，夜晚佢哋出動嘅嗰啲豺狼。
So, but the gopis risked everything to go to Krishna.
但係啲牧牛姑娘咧係冒住呢啲一切嘅危險咧，係去見 Krishna。
And when they came to Krishna, Krishna said to them, why are you coming here? What are you doing here? You young women, dangerous to come here.
但係當我哋見到 Krishna 嘅時候咧，Krishna 咧就好冷漠嘅，你哋嚟呢度做咩啊？森林好危險嘅喎。 佢哋咁夜嚟呢度，
The gopis thinking, Krishna, you called us to come here.
咁無來姑娘嘅心就諗啦，Krishna 你叫我哋嚟嘅喎，
Oh, Krishna down. No, you should go home. You should go home. Your family will not be pleased.
咁 Krishna 咧就反應咧就話，唔係，你哋要翻屋企，你啲家人會掛住你哋嘅。
So the gopis, of course, they didn't go.
咁當然啦，啲無來姑娘幾大都唔翻屋企啦，
They stayed in the forest and danced Rasa Leela with Krishna.
咁佢哋就留喺森林咧，就同 Krishna 咧係跳呢個Rasa 嘅舞蹈。
And so here you have the Dvijapatnis, these wives of the Brahmanas. Lord Krishna is also telling them, go home.
所以而家婆羅門嘅妻子咧，啲 Dvijapatnis 咧，亦都遇到一樣嘅回應，就話唔得嘅，你哋要翻屋企嘅。
They said, we left home. They said, we left home. We left our husbands. We left everything to come to you.
咁佢哋講啦，佢哋話：我哋離開咗屋企咯喎，我哋離開咗一切，離開咗我哋丈夫咧嚟見你喎。
But Lord Krishna told them that, no, your husband won't accept you.
咁佢Krishna 咧就安慰佢哋話：冇問題嘅，你哋丈夫會接受你哋嘅。
Don't worry. Their husbands will not give you up.
唔使擔心，佢哋唔會放棄你哋嘅。
So the gopis decided what to do. Lord Krishna told them he didn't want them to stay there with him in the forest.
咁對啲無來姑娘嚟講，當時點算咧？而家 Krishna 話叫佢哋翻去喎，唔想佢哋留喺森林嗰度嘅。
So the gopis went back to their husbands.
咁所以有啲
Not the gopis, rather. The wives of the Brahmanas went back to their husbands.
咁而家到婆羅門嘅妻子啦，咁佢哋咧就真係翻返去佢哋嘅丈夫嗰度。
The gopis didn't go back. They stayed the night with Krishna.
但係無來姑娘咧就冇翻屋企，佢哋留喺森林度同 Krishna 一齊。
But the wives of the Brahmanas, they went.
但係婆羅門嘅妻子咧，佢哋就翻屋企。
But they had also developed their love for Krishna.
咁但係佢哋亦都一樣咧，培養出對 Krishna 嘅愛，
Great love for Krishna.
係好深好偉大嘅愛。
That they could give up everything to go to Krishna.
佢哋咧可以放棄一切咧去 Krishna，去到 Krishna 嗰度。
So they were worried. They were thinking, because we left our husbands, maybe they won't take us back because we've gone to Krishna.
因為佢哋內心嘅顧慮咧就係話，因為放棄咗一切去見 Krishna，咁佢哋驚，即係已經乜都冇㗎啦。咁佢驚佢嘅丈夫咧亦都唔接納佢哋。
But when they went back, their husbands didn't say anything.
但係當佢哋翻到屋企嘅時候咧，佢哋嘅丈夫咧粒聲唔出啦，冇講呢個。
Rather, just the opposite. Their husbands were feeling sorry that they didn't have the same attraction to Krishna.
反而啲婆羅門咧係有歉意喎，佢哋覺得自己咧係冇被 Krishna 吸引咧，佢哋覺得好羞愧。
They were thinking that how is it our wives have developed so much love for Krishna?
佢哋喺度諗啦，點解我哋嘅妻子反而會對 Krishna 咧培養係咁深嘅愛咧？
The Brahmanas thought our wives, they never did anything. They never did any austerities.
佢哋諗我哋嘅妻子咧，從來都冇做過乜嘢喎，佢哋又冇苦行過喎，
They didn't go and live in the ashram of the guru.
佢哋又冇去修院度即係住過喎，
They didn't practice celibacy.
佢哋亦冇培養佢哋嘅貞潔喎，
They didn't study all the mantras we studied.
佢哋又冇好似我哋咁讀好多啲曼陀喎。
But still, they've got so much attraction for Krishna.
但係咧，佢哋又反而咧係對 Krishna 咁被吸引。
Why didn't we get some attraction for Krishna?
點解我哋一啲都冇被 Krishna 吸引嘅？
And they're just doing these rituals.
我哋只係喺度做呢啲儀式。
These rituals which are meant to take you to heaven.
咁啲儀式實際上其實應該幫我哋去天堂㗎。
Go up. Chinese people also talk about heaven a lot, right? 天堂.
咁中國人都有講入天堂㗎呢樣嘢。
They want to think about. They want their home to be like heaven.
咁中國人都想佢哋嘅家咧係成為天堂嘅。
But on heaven, heaven is still in the material world.
但係天堂咧，其實仍然都係屬於物質世界。
There's also birth and death there.
天堂仍然都仲有生同埋死。
So these brahmanas, they were concerned with these things. They were thinking this is important to go to heaven.
咁所以婆羅門咧只係關注呢啲事嘅，佢哋只係想去天堂嘅。
But a devotee has no attraction for that.
但係奉獻者咧就對天堂咧冇乜興趣。
So these brahmanas, they were regretting that they had so much attraction towards these mundane rituals.
咁而家啲婆羅門咧就開始有少少後悔啦，佢哋咧係咁被呢啲咁嘅世俗嘅呢啲咁嘅儀式所吸引。
And they failed to recognize Lord Krishna.
佢哋咧係完全咧係認唔出 Krishna 咧。
They failed to recognize Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They thought of him as an ordinary person.
佢哋認唔出 Krishna 咧就係至尊人格守神，佢哋以為 Krishna 咧只係一個普通嘅人。
And the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna also talks about these people.
喺國家梵歌咧，亦都係描述過有關呢一類嘅人。
Abhijananti mam mudha manushim tanam ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Lord Krishna said, the foolish mock at me, descending amongst them like a human being.
咁 Krishna 喺國家梵歌咧就咁講啦，佢話嗰啲智慧低嘅人咧，佢哋咧就鄙視我，以為我當凡咧只係一個普通人。
They do not know my transcendental nature
佢哋唔知曉我呢個超然嘅本性。
and my dominion over all the people.
我就知道，
Yeah.
同埋我係掌管一切嘅事。
So, like this, these brahmanas, they had not understood Lord Krishna.
咁呢啲婆羅門咧就係嗰啲咧係唔了解 Krishna 嘅人。
You know, sometimes people say, why doesn't Lord Krishna come and then we will all surrender to him?
咁有啲人就話啦，點解 Krishna 唔會再降臨咧？然後我哋咧就會全部歸依到佢。
But even 5,000 years ago, when Krishna was present on the planet, not everyone surrendered to him.
所以就算 Krishna 5000幾年前降凡落到嚟呢個物質世界咧，都唔係所有人都歸依咗俾佢。
There were only a few people who were very fortunate who could understand Krishna's identity.
咁當時亦都只係好少嘅一部分嘅人咧，係知道 Krishna 呢個真正嘅身份啦，原來係歸依俾佢。
People like the Pandavas and Uddhava and then also Akrura, these people.
咁呢啲好幸運嘅人物就係潘特華五兄弟啦，烏特華啦，佢嘅堂兄弟啦，同埋阿庫華佢嘅叔子。
Then of course there was the Brijvasi people who are all very special souls.
咁當然有呢個啲出巴士，即係亂巴群嘅居民啦，佢哋係一啲好幸運嘅良人，係一啲好特別嘅良人。
And somehow these wives of the Brahmanas, they could understand Lord Krishna.
咁但係不知怎地咧，呢啲婆羅門嘅妻子咧，佢哋咧亦都有足夠嘅智慧咧去明白 Krishna 嘅，
But not their husbands.
但係反而佢哋啲丈夫就唔明。
The husbands were thinking, we're Brahmanas, we're the head of society.
嗰啲加明娜咧就個心就咁諗啦，我哋係婆羅門喎，我哋係社會階層嘅最高嗰一級嘅喎。
But when the personality of Godhead came before them begging, they could not give any of their food.
但係當呢個至尊人嘅手神嚟到佢哋門前咧，係乞求一啲食物咧，但係佢哋反而一啲食物都唔俾 Krishna。
So this is one of the interesting pastimes of Lord Krishna. That Lord Krishna, they're begging. Lord, he's the supreme controller, the personality of Godhead, but he comes sometimes to beg from others.
咁呢個就係 Krishna 有趣嘅地方啦。Krishna 至尊人嘅手神咧，佢嚟到呢個物質世界咧，佢嚟乞求一啲嘢喎，佢從我哋呢度乞求一啲嘢喎。
Krishna doesn't need to beg from anyone.
咁當然咧 ，Krishna 唔需要從任何人喺度乞求任何。
He is the supreme. He's Bhagavan. He possesses all opulences.
咁佢係巴德灣嚟噶嘛，佢擁有6種嘅所有嘅富裕噶嘛。
He doesn't need to beg from anyone.
咁佢當然係唔需要從任何人嗰度乞求任何嘢咯。
There was a pastime in Lord Chaitanya's Leela.
咁喺馬伯嘅主菜產業咧，裏邊有一個逍遙時光。
The secretary of Advaita Acharya.
咁Advaita Acharya嘅秘書咧，
His secretary wrote a message to the king.
咁呢個秘書咧就寫咗一個信，即係信息俾皇帝。
And he told the king, he said, Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of God.
咁佢就話俾皇帝聽咧，Advaita Acharya咧就係神嘅化身嚟嘅。
And he's in debt 300 rupees.
佢而家咧係欠咗300個 rupee， 即係欠人哋300個 rupees。
So like the secretary was like requesting the king if you could pay off the debt for Advaita Acharya.
咁佢嘅秘書咧就要求咧，希望呢個皇帝咧就幫 Advaita Acharya 咧還咗呢筆債，同佢還咗呢筆債。
So Lord Chaitanya somehow got this message. It was meant for the king of Puri, but it came to Lord Chaitanya.
本來呢個信息咧係俾 Puri 嘅皇帝噶嘛，但係不知怎地咧就落咗去主宰坦尼嘅手裏。
So Lord Chaitanya read the message and he said, oh, this is very good. He said he recognizes that this Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of God. Certainly he is. He is correct.
咁佢收到呢個信息啦，咁佢就好開心。佢因為話真係好啦，因為呢個秘書咧係知道Advaita Acharya 咧就係至尊人佛手神大神。
But then he's saying Advaita Acharya is in debt 300 rupees. This is an offense.
但係佢話咧，如果話 Advaita Acharya 咧欠人哋300蚊咧，呢個就唔啱啦，呢個係一個冒犯嚟嘅。
How could somebody be God and be in debt 300 rupees?
咁點可能咧？如果一個人係神，然後神會欠人哋300蚊，300個 rupees 啫。
So it's contradictory.
呢個係一個矛盾嚟嘅。
Because somebody is God means he's Bhagavan, possesses all opulences.
咁如果一個人係神咧，即係佢係巴德灣啦，佢係絕對富裕噶嘛。
But he's saying he's God and he's in debt 300 rupees.
咁你寫一個即係一個信息話佢係神嚟㗎，但係而家佢係欠咗人300個 rupees 啦。
So Lord Chaitanya said, this person should not come in my association again.
咁佢話呢個人咧，永遠都唔准佢再嚟同我聯誼啦。
But then Advaita Acharya came and spoke.
咁但係咧，後來Advaita Acharya咧就嚟同主宰坦嘢傾偈。
Advaita Acharya argued with Lord Chaitanya.
咁Advaita Acharya咧就同主宰坦嘢咧係爭辯。
He said, previously, he said, when I preached the Mayavadi philosophy, then you beat me.
佢話之前咧，我曾經向嗰啲假象中人士咧係傳教，你打我嗰陣時。
But you did not ban me from your association.
但係你冇將我驅絕出同你聯誼呢個同你聯誼啊。
So you're giving more mercy to my secretary than you gave to me.
但係你而家咧係俾更多仁慈俾我嘅秘書喎，即係我冇我嘅秘書咁多仁慈，
It's not fair.
係唔公平嘅。
Why you give him more mercy than me?
點解你俾佢更多仁慈啊？對於佢，我係咁少啊？
So then Lord Chaitanya said, okay, bring him.
咁於是咧，主催太人就話好啦，叫翻佢翻嚟啦。
And then Lord Chaitanya instructed them that God can never be in debt.
咁咧，主催太人就向佢哋訓示啦。佢話神咧永遠都唔會欠人哋嘅。
And devotees, you should be very careful about who you take money from.
咁奉獻者咧係應該好小心咧，係你向邊啲人接受金錢。
Because if you take money from sinful people, you will take their time.
如果你從一啲罪惡嘅人身上邊攞啲金錢咧，你就會攞咗佢哋嘅額度。
And especially to be careful about taking food from people who are non-devotees.
特別咧，你係攞食物喎。如果你向一啲非奉獻者求取食物咧，呢個亦都係唔得嘅。
So in this way, Lord Chaitanya was giving very important instructions to all the devotees.
咁就係咁樣咧，主宰產業咧就係俾咗一啲好重要嘅教導俾所有嘅奉獻。
So devotees should be very careful. With Prabhupada said, we don't take any food from non-devotees.
所以聖巴巴亦都教導我哋咧，奉獻者咧係唔食非奉獻者嘅食物。
You may take uncut fruit.
你可以食一啲未切嘅食物。
They should not be cut because their knives are used to cut meat.
即係你哋咧要食一啲即係未經切過嘅，因為嗰啲刀咧，即係非奉獻者嘅刀咧就會有切過肉嘅。
And we shouldn't take money from sinful people.
另外一樣，我哋就一定唔可以從嗰啲有罪嘅人咧攞錢。
If sinful people give money, we will give it to the temple.
如果嗰啲罪惡嘅人，即係犯罪嘅人啦，佢俾錢你咧，你就俾廟。
We can give it to the temple.
你可以交俾廟，
But
即係捐咗俾廟咯。
We don't take anything for ourselves.
我哋唔會咧係即係代入自己嘅袋。
So Lord Krishna was begging from these brahmanas.
咁而家咧，主 Krishna 咧就向呢啲婆羅門咧係乞討。
And we see also Lord Vamanadev came begging from Bali Maharaj.
但係我哋亦都可以另外一個例子咧，就係、主巴文拿咧去到巴利馬哈拉嗰度咧，亦都係乞討一啲嘢。
Bali Maharaj was told by his guru Sukracharya to give charity to Brahman.
咁巴利馬哈拉咧就從佢嘅靈性導師 Sukracharya 咧係聽取有關嘅教導咧，就係話要向婆羅門布施喎。
People like when they give charity, they like to give to Brahmana.
咁所以當啲人想布施嘅時候咧，佢哋就好喜歡咧係布施俾婆羅門。
They get more benefit when they give to Brahmana.
因為如果我哋布施俾婆羅門咧，我哋得到嘅利益係更大。
But the Brahmana has to be a pure Brahmana,
但係呢個婆羅門一定係純粹嘅婆羅門喎。
not just a Brahmana by birth.
就唔係嗰啲話出身係即係出身係一個婆羅門家庭嗰啲人。
It should be a Brahmana who studied the scriptures.
咁如果你係唔讀經典，你就唔可以成佛。
And according, if it's more pure, if it's more elevated spiritually, then you get more benefit.
咁你俾一啲越係純粹嘅婆羅門咧，你係越得到更多嘅處。
And if he's a devotee, then you get much more benefit.
咁如果佢係奉獻者咧，你得到嘅利益就更多。
And the charity can come back many times.
咁你得到嘅回報咧係會好多好多倍。
So Lord Krishna was enacting this pastime of begging from the Brahmanas.
咁所以而家 Krishna 咧就上演緊呢個即係向婆羅門乞討呢一個嘅消息時間。
We said Brahmanas can receive charity, but they can also give charity.
婆羅門咧可以係接受布施啦，佢亦都可以布施出去。
So Lord Krishna was giving them the opportunity to get the greatest benefit, to give charity to Lord Krishna.
咁其實而家 Krishna 咧就俾機會佢喎，俾機會佢咧去做呢一個布施呢個工作，就係要即係俾 Krishna 一啲食物。
But these brahmanas were so stupid, they couldn't take advantage.
但係呢啲婆羅門咧係好愚蠢啦，佢都唔利用到呢個咁好嘅機會。
Because they were thinking, oh, he's just some cowherd boy.
因為佢哋嘅心諗咧，佢只係一個牧牛童啫嘛，
He's just a low class.
咁啲好低下嘅人嚟啫。
They could not understand he's the supreme personality of God.
所以啲婆羅門咧就唔可以明白到至尊人佛手。
But they didn't take the opportunity to give any charity.
所以佢哋咧係唔懂得利用呢個機會咧嚟布施俾 Krishna。
Later on, you'll hear when Krishna goes to Mathura, when he came into Mathura, he also asked for some charity.
咁遲啲我哋會見到 Krishna 去到 Mathura 咧，佢亦都向人要求一啲布施。
He came to Mathura and he met with Kamsa's laundryman.
咁佢去到 Mathura 咧，佢就係遇到一啲嗰啲洗衣服嘅人。
And Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram had come from Vrindavan.
咁主 Krishna 同主 Balaram 咧，就嗰陣時就啱啱喺 Vrindavan 嚟到 Mathura。
So Vrindavan is a village.
咁 Vrindavan 係一個鄉村地方嚟㗎嘛，
It's a city.
而 Mathura 咧係一啲大城市嚟嘅。
So, you know, the people in the village, the simple people, you know, simple, and they will wear simple clothes, you know.
咁因為鄉村嚟嘅人咧，佢哋都係穿着好簡樸㗎嘛，咁佢哋穿住啲鄉下衫㗎嘛。
They won't have any of the names. You're not going to get Giordano, Bennett, these names there in the village, you know.
咁喺鄉村佢哋冇名牌啫嘛，冇佐丹奴啊呢啲咁嘅名牌子嘅衫。
It's a village. People, they're simple.
因為佢鄉村啊嘛，啲人好簡樸嘅啫嘛。
So Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram and the cowherd boys, they all come from Vrindavan.
咁所有呢啲Krishna 啊、Balaram 啊，佢哋都係從 Vrindavan 嚟嘅。
You know, like when people come from the countryside, they come into the city, come to Hong Kong. Oh, they want to look like Hong Kong people. They don't want to look like village people.
咁所以一樣啦，當啲鄉村即係鄉下嘅人嚟到香港啦，咁嚟到呢個大城市啦，咁佢都想俾人睇起上嚟，佢哋係當地人㗎，都好希望自己好似香港人咁樣，唔想俾人知道佢喺鄉下出嚟。
So Lord Krishna and they met with the laundryman of Kamsa.
咁佢哋咧就遇到 Kamsa 嘅，即係幫 Kamsa 洗衣服嘅人。
And they saw he's got all these nice clothes.
咁佢見到呢個洗衣人咧，哇洗緊一啲好美麗嘅即係布匹喎。
Oh, beautiful colors, very nice material.
顏色好靚啦，啲質地又好靚㗎啦。
And they're coming from the village in their old clothes, you know, they've been with the cows, going in the forest every day with the cows.
咁佢哋啱喺Vrindavan出嚟啦，着住啲鄉下衫啦，又舊啦，又鄉村啦。
Now they come to Mathura
咁而家佢哋嚟到 Mathura 喎，
and they see the laundryman's got all this nice cloth. So they ask him, could you give some cloth for us?
咁佢哋就見到呢個洗衫嘅人啦，咁於是佢哋就問啦：你可唔可以俾一啲呢啲咁靚嘅布匹衫啊俾我？
And Kamsa's laundryman gets all angry.
咁Kamsa嘅僕人咧，係就好嬲啦，即時。
But you cheeky boys, who are you boys? King Kamsa will have you punished.
你哋呢啲咁嘅衣衫襤褸嘅細路，你喺邊度嚟㗎？Kamsa咧會懲罰你哋嘅喎。
This cloth all belongs to King Kamsa.
呢啲衫啊、布匹啊，全部都係屬於Kamsa嘅。
Don't be so cheeky. Want to take the cloth of the king.
唔好想攞呢啲皇帝嘅衫啊！
And so Krishna was not very happy to hear these nasty words from this laundryman.
咁當然啦，Krishna 咧聽到呢啲即係呢個洗衫呢個人講啲咁嘅即係咁冇禮貌嘅説話，一定會唔開心咯。
So Krishna cut off his head.
於是咧，Krishna 咧當場咧就斬咗佢個頭落嚟。
With his hand.
With his hand.
手啊，咁嘢手口 ，Krishna 咧即刻咧就用手咧就削咗佢個頭落嚟。
And all the other people, they ran away.
在旁見到嘅人咧就雞飛狗走嘅。
And Krishna and the cowherd boys took all the cloth.
咁 Krishna 同 Balaram 咧就攞走晒所有呢啲好靚嘅布匹。
They got some nice cloth to be in the
所以佢喺 Mathura 咧就有好多嘅好奇怪嘅衫。
So the laundryman, he didn't want to give. Krishna was begging, asking him to give some cloth. He wouldn't give.
咁所以呢個洗衫嘅人咧，因為佢唔想俾 Krishna 啊嘛，唔想布施俾 Krishna 啊嘛，Krishna 問佢嘅時候。
But if you give to Krishna, one who gives to Krishna is never the loser.
咁任何一個人，如果我哋係付出俾 Krishna 任何嘅東西咧，你永遠都唔會有損失。
Even here in Hong Kong, right? We have sometimes we had this one man, he was a businessman, and he said, I don't mind to give to the temple because I know whenever I give to the temple, it will come back. It will come back.
香港有一個人咧，即係有錢人，佢話我唔介意咧係捐錢俾廟宇嘅，佢話因為咧我捐幾多咧啲錢會翻嚟嘅。
So these brahmanas, they were doing the ritual, they couldn't understand who is Krishna.
咁所以而家呢啲婆羅門咧，佢哋係做緊祭祀啊，但係佢哋就唔明白 Krishna。
But after their wives had gone there to be with Krishna,
咁喺佢哋啲妻子咧去到見 Krishna 之後咧，
and
就
they
同 Krishna 一齊啦，
come back,
然後翻返嚟，
somehow the brahmanas had reconsidered everything.
咁就反而令到啲婆羅門咧開始咧就重新咧即係思量佢哋所做嘅事情。
And they were regretting how unfortunate they were,
於是佢哋就察覺到佢哋係好不幸，
that they did not take the advantage to give to Krishna,
佢哋冇利用呢個機會咧係向 Krishna 布施，
to go to see Krishna and to give food to Krishna.
或者咧去見 Krishna 啦，然後同 Krishna 喺埋一齊。
And even after their wives came back, they wanted to go and see Krishna, but they didn't.
咁佢哋啲妻子翻嚟啦，咁啲婆羅門咧係想個心想去見 Krishna 嘅喎，但係佢哋最終係去。
Because they were worried that if we go and see Krishna, Kamsa may hear about him.
因為佢哋內心咧恐怕，如果 Kamsa 知道佢哋去見過 Krishna 咧 ，Kamsa 會唔高興。
And if King Kamsa hears about it, we'll be punished.
咁如果咁做咧，Kamsa 咧一定會懲罰佢哋。
And so they were really in the bodily concept of life.
咁所以咧，呢婆羅門咧就真真正正咧，只係處喺一個即係軀體生命嘅層面。
But their wives, they didn't have any fear like that.
但係佢哋妻子咧，反而冇呢一種恐懼。
They didn't have any attachment. They were not worried, oh, my husband may not take me back.
佢哋反而冇呢個恐懼，佢哋唔會憂慮咧我嘅丈夫可能唔會再。
Oh, King Kamsa may hear about me, he may punish me. They were not, they didn't worry about it.
咁佢從來都唔會擔心話，哎呀，阿 Kamsa 咧會聽聞我哋去見 Krishna 呢件事咧，然後會懲罰我哋喎。
They were just so mad to be with Krishna. They had that desire, strong and eagerness. They must go to be with Krishna.
因為佢哋當時咧，只係咧有一個係好熱切嘅渴望咧，係同 Krishna 一齊嘅，所以任何嘅即係干擾啊、障礙，佢哋都唔在。
And when you want something bad enough, then nothing can stop.
如果你係即係好熱切咁渴望一啲嘢咧，你係冇嘢可以阻止到。
So these wives of the Brahmanas, they're very special devotees.
咁所以呢啲華人嘅妻子咧係一啲好特別嘅奉獻者。
And they had the opportunity to give to Krishna, bring food to offer to Krishna.
所以佢哋得咗一個咁特別嘅機會咧，係可以即係俾食物 Krishna。
And they also got personal instruction from Lord Krishna.
佢哋亦都可以咧係得到一啲係好個人嘅指示嘅，從 Krishna 嗰度。
And he taught them that you don't have to be in my physical presence.
咁就訓示佢哋咧，就你哋唔需要一定咧係即係存在喺我喺你身邊嘅時候。
Sometimes devotees have that desire. They want to be with Krishna.
咁有陣時奉獻者都會有咁嘅心水嘅，佢哋都好想即係同 Krishna 一齊。
But of course, we know Krishna is everywhere.
咁當然我哋知道其實 Krishna 係無處不在。
He's in everything. He's in every atom.
佢喺存在喺甚至係物件裏邊啦，甚至喺原子裏邊啦。
In the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes to Arjuna that Lord Krishna has been, he explains all the vibhutis, how he's present in everything.
咁喺國家行多嘅第10章咧 ，Krishna 咧就向Arjuna 解釋咧，佢話我其實咧係存在喺所有嘅一切物件之中，物體之中。
Instead of rivers, I am the Ganga.
咁喺河流之中咧，我就係恒河。
Of beasts, I am the lion.
喺野獸之中咧，我就係獅子。
Of aquatics, I am the shark.
喺魚類之中咧，我就係鯊魚。
All powerful things. Lord Krishna explains many different opulences.
咁喺所有呢啲好即係代表力量嘅東西之中咧 ，Krishna 咧就係展示佢嘅富。
But then at the end of it all, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, but there's no need of all this detailed knowledge.
咁最後佢反而對 Arjuna 講，其實佢話你唔需要知道呢啲咁多嘅細節嘅。
With a single fragment of myself, I pervade the entire creation.
咁其實所有我整體嘅創造咧，只係我好零碎嘅一部分。
So that's the super soul. Lord Krishna is present everywhere as the super soul.
咁 Krishna 以佢超靈嘅形式咧，存在喺所有嘅生活之中。
But some people say, well, I don't want the super soul. I want Krishna. I want Krishna.
咁有啲奉獻者就話：我唔想要超靈嘅，我要 Krishna 啊。
So then Lord Krishna says, then worship my deity.
咁 Krishna 咁就推薦佢啦。咁如果係咁嘅話咧，你就崇拜我嘅神像啦。
The deity of Krishna not different from Krishna.
咁 Krishna 嘅神像咧係同 Krishna 本人咧係冇分別。
And Lord Krishna also comes in the Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name.
而 Krishna 咧喺卡利年代咧就以呢個佢嘅姓名咧係存在嘅。
Kali Kali Namarupe Krishna Avatar. In the Kali Yuga, Krishna comes in the form of his name.
咁呢個獅子咧就係話喺卡利年代咧 ，Krishna 咧就係以佢姓名嘅化身咧係當。
So we can associate with Krishna in these ways.
所以我哋可以用呢啲不同嘅方法同 Krishna 聯繫。
You may be fortunate to get physical presence. You may not. It's up to Krishna.
咁亦都係根據 Krishna 本人嘅意願咧，我哋可唔可以得到親眼見到同 Krishna 一齊咧？或者我哋係唔會親眼見到同 Krishna 一齊。
The wives of the Brahmanas wanted to stay there with Krishna. They wanted to stay in the forest with Krishna.
咁婆羅門嘅妻子咧，佢哋都好渴望咧，可以留喺森林咧，係同 Krishna 一齊嘅。
But Lord Krishna sent them.
但係 Krishna 咧就叫佢哋翻屋企嘅。
And their husbands appreciated how fortunate, how exalted their wives were.
咁婆羅門佢哋妻子翻到去咧，佢就反而咧係好能夠欣賞佢哋妻子呢個崇高嘅地位。
And how unfortunate they were.
然後咧，亦都覺察到自己係好不幸。
That they didn't have that attraction.
佢哋咧係冇被 Krishna 吸引，呢個係佢哋嘅不幸。
You want to add anything?
What about the art center?
Yeah, what is that on?
I sent it to you.
Yes, and I have one. Yeah, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes the Anartha.
咁北切面都 Thakur 咧，亦都講咗呢個消極時光所代表我哋嘅唔想要嘅東西。
So here it's described that this pastime represents the fault of indifference towards Krishna.
咁呢個消極時光咧，就係帶出咗咧我哋對 Krishna 嘅冷漠。
Indifferent means, no, it's just Krishna, we don't think very important, nobody very special.
咁你咧聽到 Krishna 嘅名咧，你就即刻咧好似好鄙視咁樣咧，有咩特別啦？冇咩特別啫。
And why would they think like that?
點解佢哋會咁諗咧？
Because of pride due to their own birth.
咁就係因為佢哋出身，因為佢哋嘅出身而驕傲。
They're thinking, I'm a Brahmin.
佢哋諗我係婆羅門嘅。
He's just a cowherd boy.
佢哋呢啲牧牛童只係牧牛童啫嘛。
The cowherd boy, he's a Vaishya, he's not very high class.
咁佢哋牧牛童咧，只係一啲外下嚟噶嘛，即係身份唔係咁高咯。
He just take care of the cows in the forest.
咁佢哋只係喺森林咧，係看管下啲牛。
I am educated. I'm a Brahmana.
我咧婆羅門咧，我有教養，有教育嘅。
I'm high class by birth.
我出身好高貴嘅。
So the Brahmanas, they do these yajnas, they do yajna.
咁呢啲婆羅門咧，佢哋做呢啲祭祀儀式啦。
But they become very attached to the position in society.
咁佢哋咧就好依附佢哋喺社會嘅地位嘅。
They're thinking, I am the head of the social world.
佢哋認為自己咧係呢個社會階層嘅首領。
And they become also absorbed in material activities, doing yajna for material benefit.
咁佢哋亦都沉醉喺佢哋嘅做呢啲人所得到嘅物質嘅回報。
Now this is the problem for Brahmana.
咁呢啲就係婆羅門嘅問題咯。
They become proud.
佢哋咧變得驕傲。
Just like somebody is in the mode of goodness, they can become proud of being in the mode of goodness.
正如好似有啲人咧係處喺善良形態咧，佢哋就會變得驕傲。
We have to be very careful. Pride comes before the fall.
所以我哋要小心咧，即係呢一點咧就係話，我哋跌低，即係驕傲咧，就會引致我哋低墮。
It's very important to control our mind, not to become overly absorbed in the material conception of life.
所以我哋一定要好小心咧，控制我哋嘅心意咧，係唔好咧係即係俾呢啲嘅物質嘅生活咧係俾佢即係掌管咗、依附咗。
Lord Chaitanya teaches us, we say, I am not a Brahmana, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya, I'm not a Sudra. I'm not a sannyasi or a vanaprastha or a grihastha or a brahmachari. I am simply the servant of that one Supreme Lord.
咁主要睇人俾我哋教導咧，就係話，佢話我唔係四社會階層嘅 Sudra 啊、Vaishya 啊、Kshatriya 啊或者婆羅門啊，亦都唔係精口生啦，亦都唔係學生啦，亦都唔係vanaprastha。亦都唔係聖家士，我只係至尊人格守神嘅僕人。
The bodily, this material conception, I'm thinking I'm a Brahmin.
所以呢一個認為自己係婆羅門咧，呢一個就係軀體嘅概念。
I'm a sannyasi. It's material conception.
如果你即係認為自己係學到真啊，咁呢個都係推底嘅概念。
On the spiritual platform, we're servants of Krishna.
如果我哋喺呢個靈性嘅角度咧，我哋只係知道自己係一個僕人，
So
僕
these,
人嘅僕人。
these brahmanas show that the problem when people become too much attached to their material position in society.
咁所以呢個婆羅門嗰啲問題咧，帶出咧就係話我哋係太過咧係依附喺我哋呢個物質嘅擁有嘅嘢，
They don't
物
want
質嘅位置，
they don't want to give, they don't want to do service for Krishna.
佢哋係唔願意係為 Krishna 做服務嘅。
They will do rituals, they will do yajna,
佢哋做好多祭祀啊，做好多呢啲儀式咧，
but they don't want to serve Krishna.
但係佢哋就唔想係為 Krishna。
Okay, so is there any question?
好啦，咁到呢度為止，有冇問題？
Any comment, question?
有冇評論？
Maharaj，我哋頭先講 Maharaj 話善良形態就會驕傲，咁樣點解又鼓勵我哋善良形態？
Yes, Maharaj. Just now you recommend that we should not be attached in the mode of goodness. That means mode of goodness also brings some force. But then we are also advised to raise ourselves to the mode of goodness. So
Yeah.
how to understand?
Yes. Well, we have to understand that certainly the mode of goodness is better than the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance.
咁首先咧就係話，咁善良形態始終比激情形態同埋愚昧形態係好嘅。
But the mode of goodness itself is on the material platform.
咁但係善良形係啦，善良形態咧仍然都仲係喺物質嘅層面。
And at any time we can fall back to the modes of passion and ignorance.
咁所以咧係好有機會咧，我哋係會跌翻落去激情啊同埋愚昧形態嘅。
So what we do want to do is to come up to the mode of pure goodness.
所以我哋要做嘅咧就係話，我哋要將自己提升到去咧係純粹嘅善良形態，
Come to the level of Shuddha Sattva,
去到一個 Shuddha Sattva 嘅形態，即係純善良形
where
態。
there's no influence of passion and ignorance.
到呢個形態咧，我哋就唔會受呢個激情同埋愚昧屬性嘅影響，
Pure goodness.
純善良形態。
But otherwise, just to be in the mode of goodness, there's the danger. The danger of feeling that I'm better than others.
咁如果我哋係物質嘅善良形態咧，我哋好多時都會諗，我比人好喎，
I have knowledge.
我有知識。
Generally, people in the mode of goodness, they have knowledge.
一般嚟講，喺善良形態啲人咧，都係有啲知識嘅。
I'm happy.
我幾開心啊，幾快樂啊！
We're happy in our thinking we're better than others.
當我哋諗我哋係比人好嘅時候咧，我哋係會快樂嘅。
I am better situated. I'm high class. I'm Brahmana. My birth is very good.
我有好嘅位置啦，我比人哋優越啦，我係婆羅門啦，
And we look down on others.
我哋就所以就睇小其他人。
So that can come in the mode of good. If you're just in the mode of goodness.
所以如果你只係停留喺善良形態咧，你有可能咁樣諗嘅。
Because the mode of goodness facilitates happiness and also knowledge.
因為善良形態咧會帶俾我哋快樂啦，同埋知識。
But when you get that happiness is the fact that you're above others, you're better than others.
但係嗰種快樂咧，就係令你諗到你係比人好啊，比人叻係咪？
And then I'm educated, I have knowledge.
我有知識啊，我受過教育啊。
You look other people, they're not educated.
其他人咧都冇乜知識，冇乜教育。
So these are the dangers of the mode of goodness.
咁呢啲就係善良形態嘅危機。
We have to cultivate the mode of goodness in relation to Krishna consciousness.
咁我哋要培養我哋呢啲係同 Krishna 知覺有關嘅善良。
We have to see it as a stepping stone to pure goodness.
我哋視呢個善良形態咧，作為去到純善良形態嘅踏腳石。
Get rid of the mode of passion and ignorance.
就係遠離呢個愚昧形態同埋激情形態。
And come to that level of pure goodness.
然後就去到呢個純善良形態。
Otherwise, just being in the mode of goodness can be dangerous.
否則咧，如果淨係停留喺善良形態咧，就好危險。
So we have to come up to that Shuddha Sattva.
所以我哋要提升到去 Shuddha Sattva 呢個純善嘅形態。
Our mode of goodness must be in relation to devotional service.
我哋嘅善良形態咧，一定要同奉愛活動、奉愛服務係有關聯嘅。
Someone else, the mode of goodness, they're pious, material piety.
咁好多喺善良形態嘅人咧，佢哋係只係停留喺一個好虔誠嘅層面。
They're vegetarian.
例如佢哋食素啦、素食啦，
They may give some charity now and again.
佢哋會不時捐下贈，即係捐下啲捐款啊咁樣。
They don't have any real sinful activities. They don't drink alcohol. They don't smoke.
咁佢哋亦都唔會從事一啲特別嘅罪惡活動，例如吸煙啊、酗酒啊。
They're in the mode of goodness.
咁佢哋呢啲人都係喺善良形態嘅層面，
But they can be influenced also by passion.
但係佢哋亦都會被激情形態所影響。
The influence can come. Maybe they invest some money and they lose the money. They'll be very angry.
咁呢啲影響隨時隨地都會出現嘅，例如佢哋有啲投資啦，如果佢哋投資失利咧、蝕咗啦，佢哋就會好憤怒嘅。
They expected to make money.
咁佢
They
哋
lost all the money.
如果佢哋想賺錢啦，但係又蝕咗啊咁樣。
Or they're driving their car. Somebody hits their car.
佢哋揸住架靚車，又俾人撞車，
They feel very angry.
咁跟住就會好憤怒。
Mode of passion.
呢啲就係激情形態。
And from the mode of passion can degrade to the mode of ignorance.
咁如果你哋喺激情形態咧，亦都有可能跌翻落去愚昧形態。
Yes, Josh?
You mentioned that one of the services of the Brahmana is that charity, being humble and also we must avoid having accepting donations from someone simple. Nowadays, many some Brahmanas they do sacrifice for others and then they charge money for doing the sacrifice for the others. Is there a proper way to do so?
咁頭先講到話，婆羅門其中一個嘅職責就係佢可以接受捐獻，即係接受布施。咁而家有啲婆羅門咧，佢就為人哋做一啲祭祀儀式咧，然後就收費嘅。咁呢個啱唔啱？
Well, the Brahmana is giving some service. He's doing a yagya for you. So you're certainly obliged to pay something.
咁婆羅門咧，佢係為你做服務啊嘛。咁你接受人哋嘅服務咧，亦都有責任咧，係即係點講啊？係俾翻一啲嘅回報俾佢㗎。
What's important is that the Brahmana should be a pure Brahmana.
咁最重要一點就係呢個婆羅門咧，係應該係一個純粹嘅婆羅門。
He should not be a drunkard.
佢唔應該係一啲酗酒嘅人咯。
You know, you get Kali Yuga Brahmana.
咁因為有一啲咧係卡利年代嘅婆羅門嘅，
They drink and they smoke and everything.
佢哋又飲酒又食煙啊咁嘅有啲婆羅
So, you know, you don't want to give money to somebody like that.
所以咧，我哋係唔想俾錢一啲咁嘅人嘅。
But if you give money to the Brahmin who is pure, he's not going to spend the money on alcohol or meat and stuff. Then, I mean, you asked him to do service, you have to pay for it. Yeah.
咁當然
You
呢
have to
啲
give
人
something.
如果我哋要求人哋做一啲嘅服務，我哋當然要俾錢人哋為即係做呢個服務啦。但係我哋要知道佢係純粹咯，即係唔食煙、唔飲酒啊，最好唔食肉啊咁。
Sometimes actually the Brahmins specify how much you pay, how much and then I do the difference for you. Is it hopefully that's why I'm asking. Because you now even if some people do, they specify for doing yaya or something. Yaya for the letter, for health, for letter circles, and I think they charge, they have a spices for doing this kind of yaya.
Well, they want to make sure they're getting a certain amount of money, eh?
咁而家好多婆羅門咧，其實佢有定價嘅，即係佢自己有定價，做邊一類嘅，即係祭祀啊，咁咧佢 set 好晒嘅，咁即係咁樣其實啱唔啱個問題就
I
係。
guess they feel if we just depend on donations, it's not enough.
因為啲婆羅門咧，佢即係要確保自己係得到一個應得嘅數目。因為如果淨係靠你哋話封翻封利是咧，可能嗰封利是咧係即係補償唔到嘅。
So they fix a price and then there's no problem.
咁所以佢定價咧，咁佢自己就冇乜麻煩啦。
One time in England, at the temple, the devotees they sold some prasada.
咁有一次喺英國咧，有啲奉獻者咧，佢哋就賣啲祭儀啊 prasada。
So one man complained to Prabhupada that devotees shouldn't be selling prasada.
咁有一人咧就向聖巴巴投訴咧，就話奉獻者唔應該賣 prasada 嘅。
And Prabhupada said to the man, because you don't donate, that's why.
咁聖巴巴就回答咧就話你唔捐錢啊嘛，咁所以咪會賣。
But then Prabhupada told the devotees also, he said, don't sell prasada.
但係事後咧，佢就對奉獻者講，佢話唔好賣咯，即係唔好賣 prasada。
So, I mean, you can do it, you can have prasadam which is sold and prasadam which is free.
For donation.
You know, they have things, special prasadam, maybe cakes and sweets and stuff like that. So people can purchase these things, biscuits also, people can purchase these things. And you can have the regular prasadam which is distributed to everyone.
咁啊，我哋有一個折衷辦法咧，就係話可以分兩類咯，呢個 prasada，一類咧就要嚟賣嘅，啲蛋糕啊、餅乾啊咁樣，但係另外一類咧就係for即係枕晒嘅。
Can we finish now? You may or may not know, today is Vishwa's daughter's birthday. So he's just outside with the daughter. So we all want to go out before the deities close and do a blessing and something, happy birthday, may Krishna bless you. All the,
因為原來
before the
有
deities close.
OK， 咁因為有人咧係即係生日啊。 邊個？哦，Vishwa個女生日啦，咁我哋而家趁實像你生日咧，有一啲即係祝賀啊，我哋好嘅。
Oh, thank Maharaj.
Thank you.
Maharaj giving me nice lecture.
Narasimha Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Vrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.